Bonjour, moin moin. Benvenuti all'episodio numero 5 di Backyard Banter. Welcome to episode 5 of Backyard Banter, where we like to spotlight and highlight what's new or interesting in the world of hotel tech. And if you're wondering why I was doing your intro in a few different languages, that was just a little clue for you as to the origins of today's featured hotel tech, which comes from Switzerland. Olten, Switzerland, to be precise, which is just 30 minutes by train from Zurich, or just under an hour by Zug from Zug. So that's enough of my wordplay for today, although today's featured tech deals with words in a wonderful way, and the product is called Utempla. Utempla is an internet marketplace for words, for writers on demand, so hotels who need to produce written content for social media, for email marketing campaigns, can do so without having a full-time army of writers on staff, or an agency, or multiple agencies, depending on the type of property you are. Because hoteliers are already busy enough, and so to also have to produce the right words in the right tone, with the right balance between what you think is relevant for your target market or not, that headache is completely taken away with Utempla. So I was lucky enough to connect with the co-founder. Her name is Adelia Safina. A couple of weeks ago, she explained to me the Utempla vision, and I was lucky as well because I didn't look at the website before we spoke. I wanted to hear the story and understand the vision, and then look at the website. And so everything became perfectly clear. And it was honestly, let's say I was uber impressed. And I'm saying uber impressed, not just because the product comes from Switzerland, but it was the same sense of amazement or wonderment that I had the first time I used Uber. That first time where I realized, a lot of people don't need to have their own car. If they live in the cities, for example, they could just use the Uber service and life is great. Now, Uber is not always a perfect experience. Just ask Philip or Roland from HQ Revenue about their Uber experience in Brazil. Hey guys, nice to see you. Hope you're having a great weekend already. And so just like Uber provides a marketplace or a platform where you can get transportation, Utempla is providing a marketplace for writing talent. And you might be familiar with, I personally use iStock Photo. They got acquired then by Getty, Pixabay, or Shutterstock. There are different platforms for images and videos, etc. Again, that's exactly what Utempla are doing. And I'm going to speak, even though the plane's going to go overhead in a second. It's a small plane this time, so the sound won't be too loud. By the way, this is my third take because there were some really big planes before, and right now it's like every 5 minutes, but a bit earlier it's like 15, 20 minutes. Anyway, so we have our own experiences with Uber, good or bad. I think almost anyone can be an Uber driver, unfortunately, but not just anyone can be a writer in general, but also a writer on Utempla. So Utempla carefully curate writing talent, so that you as a hotelier have that on tap, on demand. And I understand it's very early days, so it's pre-MVP. The product should be released, the MVP should be released in about 3 months' time. So you should definitely not just visit the website, which is beautiful, by the way, really well designed, but you should add yourself to the waiting list so that when the MVP is released in 3 months' time or whenever, you'll be alerted and you'll be ready. You'll be in line, you'll be queued up, ready to go with Utempla. And so I think if you understand the need for producing relevant, informative, and appropriate written content, whether that's for social media or whether that's your newsletters to your guests or any kind of email marketing campaign, your template's going to be super useful. So the way I liken the benefits is if we just consider writing in general. So you might be someone that reads the news, or okay, this next plane, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to persevere because I really am passionate or excited about Utempla, and I'm not going to let the planes mess with my mojo this time. But if you think about, your needs to produce words, and the technology that Utempla offers, one thing I should mention is that there'll be different levels of the service. So I think the premium level is where you'll request a specific type of written content that will be produced, and you can then go to and fro with the writers and via the platform on tweaking and modifying the text if it needs that. Another level below, where same concept, although what is produced is what you get. So you obviously have different price points and then different levels of service. And then I think there's a free or freemium version. Don't quote me on that. Things can obviously change and are very fluid, particularly pre-MVP stage. But what I think about writing is whether you are an avid reader or whether you just like me, you read the news, but you have specific writers who have a great way of giving their perspective on politics or sport. So Jonathan Liu, Barney Ronay, Marina Hyde, these are three writers for The Guardian across politics and sport that I particularly enjoy reading because they have such a great turn of phrase. And this is what is the essence of where I think the Utempla service perfectly matches the tourism and travel and hotel industry. It's that ability that writers have, like good writers have the ability to make the mundane seem magical. So it doesn't matter if your hotel is playing in the Champions League of European hospitality, or whether your motel is meandering along the meadows of mediocrity. Start writing. Write to your pen pal in Switzerland, Utempla. Remember her? Let your pen pal do the heavy lifting. Take those typewriting tasks off your table so you can get back to doing what's most important. Being yourself, being authentic, and delivering on the art of hospitality day in and day out. That was episode 5 of Backyard Banter. Have a great weekend.